Durag Diaries, what's good, my people? Welcome back to another match review. You already know what it is, off the back of a big home win yesterday. Dare I say it? Spurs are on their way to Wembley. I'm not even gonna get in singing it. I'm not gonna get singing it. It's a bit early. Round of 16 against Manchester City. We knocked them out. We done the business. And Ange has bought himself, I wouldn't say bought himself some time, but he's given himself a moment to relax. A moment where fans will just get off him a little bit, because that's a win that we needed, a performance that we needed in a competition we haven't gone far in for a long time, for a very long time. Before we get into everything to do with the game, though, please, people, make sure you're doing your housekeeping. Show some love. As you can see there, we're on the road to 1K. I think we're at about 380, 390 right now. 600 to go. Please make sure you subscribe on the channel. Show some love. Hit the like button. And let me know your thoughts in the comment section. We always like to know what videos you want to see from me, what reactions you want to see, what other content you want to see, and also what are your thoughts on Spurs? What's your thoughts on this game? Please let me know down in the comments. But outside of that, let's talk about it. 2-1 win yesterday. Big win. And a surprising one. I'm not going to lie. Going into the game, I wasn't very confident. I knew Pep was going to make a lot of changes. He's already alluded to the fact that City don't have the squad to match the demand for the amount of games that there are this season. The fixture list has been piling up for them, but not only them, for everyone right now, but they've had quite a few injuries. And as we saw yesterday, more injuries. Players just seem to keep getting injured with the amount of fixtures there are. And it doesn't seem to be slowing down. So to caveat that, Pep went and put on a weakened. I have to do this because a Man City weakened side isn't a weak side. Let's be honest now. They still had Matías Núñez, Foden, Gundogan, Savio, and their back line was pretty much the back line we've seen them play across this season. A few changes, albeit, but they've played quite frequently with most of these players, Ake, Diaz, Stones, and Lewis in the back line. So it's fair to say that it's pretty much a B/A team. Obviously missing the De Bruyne, the Haalands, and so on, but still a very good City side. We all know coming to the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium is one thing that Pep hates to do. And their record speaks for it. With 6 losses out of 8 games, we batter them at home. I'm gonna go out there and say it. Whenever they come to our ground, it's licks. We batter them. We really don't have a problem. And yesterday showed that. Yesterday showed that the team was not afraid of this City team. And just 5 minutes into the game, quick goal, very, very well worked move. If you watch it, came down the right-hand side. I know a lot of people get onto Spurs for the persistence to play out from the back. But at the start of the game, you want to show your intentions and make them clear. And that's exactly what we've done. Archie Gray down the right-hand side. Through, it was a very quick, well-worked move. Found Kulusevski down the right-hand, blowing in the transition on the counter. And yeah, great ball straight across, perfectly weighted into Timo Werner. And finally, he got his first goal. I think it's his first goal of the season. Well, it feels like it because he's had about 20 fucking chances. And he put the ball in the back of the net. Didn't even think. Just straight whipped the ball round on his right foot. And it was a good finish, to be fair. Keeper had no chance. Absolutely no chance. And we done the business. 1-0 up. Put City off. And from there, it was a very weird game. I'd say the roles were reversed in the fact that if you watch the Palace game, you'd see that Tottenham had all the ball, but we didn't create chances. We didn't really create danger zones inside their box. We didn't even test the goalkeeper. That's exactly what was happening yesterday, especially in the first half. City had all the ball. They had about 60-70% possession. But every time we was on the ball, we was doing something with it. We were breaking down the line. We were cutting through, especially on the left-hand side. Dare I say it, if Timo Werner could finish, we would have had 4 or 5. We would have had 4. We were cleaning them out. Timo was having fun down the left-hand side. Anchors of space. Anchors of space he found himself down. Eventually, we got another one. Broke down the left-hand side. We win a goal. We win a corner. And quick corner, one of those routines we've been putting together this season. We really haven't been good when putting the ball into the box. As I said in one of my last videos, we've been awful. There's actually been a lot of questions that are supposed to be asked of this team. But very well worked move again. Kulusevski plays it out. And what a finish by Papsar. Oh! Peach, this perfect connection. When you look at the way he side-footed the ball about 25 yards out, around all the defenders, right into the corner of the goal. Keeper could have potentially done better if he actually covered his goal well enough, but I don't think he could see the ball. There was quite a few players in front of it. Whipped it well round into the corner, bends into the bottom left-hand post, and hey, 2-0 up. It really started to look a bit comfortable then. You could say City were growing into the game, but again, still didn't really create much chances. But they scored. And you could probably see the goal coming when it did come. Very unfortunate that it was right at the end of the first half, because you hate to concede a goal at that time in added time, in extra time of the first half. It's the worst time to concede, because that's when the other team starts to get more of a confidence boost. They go into that team talk, and it's a whole different team, completely different team talk. The manager's not as angry. They're not onto them. They're, let's build from this. Let's actually take the confidence from scoring this goal. We only need one more now. Let's get that first one really quick, and then we'll take the second half as a whole new half. That's sort of the managerial talk going into it. But the one thing I'm disappointed in, I'm very disappointed in Dogi so far this season. I have to address it, because he's not been as tenacious. I have to just say, last season, he was one of the best left backs in the league. Players didn't beat him in the 1v1. He was tenacious, aggressive. Literally, no crosses were even being allowed into the box. I don't know what's happened this year, but it's the complete opposite. He seems to be letting everyone get to the byline and beat him. We've conceded a copy and paste of that goal that we conceded against City 4 or 5, maybe 6 times this season, all down the left-hand side. Take on your man, cross it in, and the man, whoever's on the other wing for them, is just finding it and tapping it in. And Spurs, the defending on whenever that happens, it's disgraceful. Archie Gray was marking the inside man with Romero. Brennan Johnson, again, nowhere to be seen. We need to get better at this, Spurs. We need to start keeping clean sheets. We need to start minimizing the amount of crosses that are coming into the box, because if you want to play a narrow back line and you allow teams to cross the ball in, then you need to at least be very good aerially, especially. And your zonal marking has to be key, because you need to make sure you're covering all areas where the ball is going to come in, because especially Tottenham, they don't have a clue. The ball's coming across, open man, finish. And it happens every single time this season. But onwards from that, I think the second half was a bit of a stalemate. You know, we had our chances, could have scored a few more. Timo Werner doing Timo Werner things. City didn't really have too many clear-cut chances. There was one time from across where Vicario, there isn't much to explain. Don't really know what he's doing. We all know he's very poor at from corner kicks, but this highlighted how bad he is, because he was pretty much caught in no man's land, falls into a Dogi, and they have an open goal. Luckily, Basuma clears it off the line, and we don't have to take the game to penalties. But it would have been very unfortunate if we'd lost the game due to a silly, or not lost the game, but took the game to penalties due to a silly mistake from Vicario, because he just doesn't want to be a bit more I wouldn't even say be a bit more aggressive, but be more assertive in his area. Because I see him fighting and pushing players around all the time, but you're not actually shouting, you're not actually commanding, you're not actually telling players, look, you come here, take him off me, I'm going to focus on the ball. Because when he comes out, he tends to flap it. Doesn't look like a man that's confident of winning that ball or claiming it at all. But yeah, outside of that, I think Spurs still do have creative issues. One thing that I've actually looked up, and a stat that's quite worrying to me, is Dom Solanke hasn't had a shot on target in 6 games. I don't think this is a Solanke problem. I think this is a Spurs problem, and one that's going to continue to plague us this season if we don't learn to diversify the way that we attack. Far too often, we're doing it from wing to wing, and a lot of the chances get created from Werner or Brennan Johnson, whoever's down on either side, playing the ball across goal to the other winger. They're never finding the striker. We need our creative midfielder in Kulusevski to be coming in a bit closer to him, playing him through on goal through the middle. But because we play all our play goes out to the wings, he's not getting found. All the balls that are coming into the box are just, put the ball in there and hope that he gets it. It's never really playing him through on goal, and we need to do better there. He must be. I watched him yesterday, probably for the last 15 minutes of the game. He looked blown out of his ass because he's doing all the off-ball work. He's doing so great to do the little 1-2 touch, win the ball up on his chest, play it out wide, and start turning the centre back and running in. So he's being a nuisance. He's creating the issue. The defenders are always marking him, so he's taking players out of the game, but they're just not finding him in the dangerous areas for him to actually score goals. All of his goals this season have come from rebounds. He's not actually had the chance to put the ball in the back of the net properly and, shimmy a man, take it on his right, bang. He rarely gets the opportunity. We need to see that more, Spurs. We need to see better created chances. But ultimately, we won the game yesterday. We won the game. It wasn't a very convincing performance. It wasn't amazing, but we got the win. And we're into the quarterfinals where we've got the team that I wanted prior to the game. I said, if we're going to go through, give me United. Give me United. Give me the team that's just sacked their manager. I want to ruin them. I want Ruben Amorim to come to Spurs Stadium, and we knock him out of the competition. Yes, we're going to be having words after that game. Because all I talk is, I deny that game. They'd say that deny the Spurs game. You're not going to be able to deny in the Carabao Cup, are you? You're not going to be able to. But what does this win mean for Spurs, man? What does it mean for us? I'm not sure at the moment. I'm not sure. I like this competition. I like the Carabao Cup. It's one that it was the first competition that I'd seen my team win. So I'm not going to be a snob Spurs fan and say that I don't want to win it. But ultimately, the Europa League is where my focus is at. Galatasaray next week is where my focus is at. So we're going to see. We're going to see how we do in this competition. It's very good to see that Spurs are taking this seriously. We are putting our first team players out there and we are looking to push on. City is out of the competition, so that takes one of the big teams out there. But now there's still Liverpool, there's still Arsenal, there's still United, there's Newcastle, there's still a few big teams in here. So we're going to have to make sure that we take it game by game. United at home next game. Let's give them a game. Let's go out there and win that. On to the semi-finals, and we have a really strong cup run ahead of us. Chelsea have been knocked out, so that's one team we know whenever we face them in cup competitions, we don't have a great record. So it's looking all right. Spurs may very well be on their way to Wembley. But thank you guys for tuning in. That has been another match reaction, match review. Tottenham beat City 2-1. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Do you think Spurs have a chance to win the competition? Do you think we're going out next round? Please let me know. Thank you guys for watching. It has been another episode of Durag Diaries.